The weeks stretched into months, each day blending into the next as Lisa found herself trapped in the luxurious prison of Don Federico's mansion. Despite the opulence that surrounded her, she felt suffocated, her spirit chafing against the invisible chains that bound her. She refused to accept her fate as merely a pawn in Don Federico's cruel game. Late one night, under the cover of darkness, Lisa decided to make her move. She had spent weeks observing the mansion's security routines, noting the guards' shifts and the locations of the surveillance cameras. Her plan was risky, but she knew she had to try. Slipping into the shadows, she made her way through the sprawling estate, her heart pounding in her chest. She had nearly reached the outer wall when a flashlight beam swept across her path. "Stop right there," a guard barked, his voice slicing through the silence. Lisa froze, her mind racing. She had been so close. Desperation gave way to resignation as the guards surrounded her, their expressions a mixture of annoyance and amusement. "Trying to run away, princess," one of them sneered, grabbing her roughly by the arm. Lisa's eyes flashed with defiance. "Let go of me. I don't belong here." The guards laughed, their grip tightening as they dragged her back to the mansion. Any hopes of escape were dashed against the harsh reality of Don Federico's iron grip. As they shoved her into the grand foyer, Don Federico himself emerged from the shadows, his face twisted into a cold, mocking smile. "Oh, Lisa," he purred, his voice dripping with insincerity. "I had hoped you would come to appreciate your new home." Lisa's glare could have cut through steel. "I will never accept this place as my home. You can't keep me here forever." Don Federico chuckled, a sinister glint in his eye. "Oh, but I can. And I have even grander plans for you." Lisa's stomach churned with dread. "What are you talking about?" Don Federico's smile widened. "You see, my dear, I've decided it's time for you to marry." Lisa's heart skipped a beat. "Mary? You can't be serious." "Oh, but I am. And the lucky groom will be none other than my son, Dave." Lisa's eyes widened in shock and horror. "Dave? No. I won't do it." Don Federico's gaze hardened, his voice taking on a menacing edge. "You will do as I say, Lisa. You belong to me now." With that, he turned on his heel and strode away, leaving Lisa reeling from the revelation. Her mind raced with thoughts of rebellion and escape, but the walls of her prison seemed to close in tighter with each passing moment. In another wing of the mansion, Dave Federico sat in his study, completely oblivious to his father's latest scheme. His thoughts were consumed with frustration and anger at the life he had been forced to return to. The values he had embraced in America felt like a distant dream in the face of his father's tyranny. The knock on his door was sharp and insistent. "Enter," he called, his voice tinged with irritation. One of his father's henchmen stepped inside, his expression unreadable. "Mr. Federico, your father has made an announcement regarding your future." Dave raised an eyebrow. "And what future might that be?" The henchman cleared his throat. "Your father has decided that you will marry the girl, Lisa." For a moment, Dave thought he had misheard. "Marry her? Are you out of your mind?" The henchman shrugged. "It's your father's decision." Dave's eyes narrowed. "Where is she now?" "In her room, sir. Under guard." Dave stormed past the henchman, his mind a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. He had heard about Lisa, the girl his father had taken as payment for a debt. He had felt a vague sense of sympathy for her plight, but he had never imagined his father would drag him into this twisted mess. Reaching Lisa's room, he knocked sharply on the door. The guard outside stepped aside, allowing him entry. Lisa sat by the window, her gaze fixed on the night sky. At the sound of the door opening, she turned, her eyes blazing with defiance. "Who are you?" she demanded, her voice laced with anger. Dave's expression softened as he took in her striking beauty and the fire in her eyes. "I'm Dave. My father has decided that we are to be married." Lisa's eyes narrowed. "I won't marry you. I don't care who you are." Dave stepped closer, his voice calm but firm. "Believe me, I don't want this any more than you do. But we need to find a way to deal with this situation." Lisa stood, her fist clenched at her sides. "I don't need your help. I don't need anyone's help. I just want to be free." Dave's temper flared at her stubbornness. "And how do you plan to do that? You can't even make it past the front gate without getting caught." Lisa's face flushed with anger. "I'd rather die trying than spend another day in this place." The intensity of her words struck a chord in Dave. He admired her courage, even as it frustrated him. "Look, I'm not your enemy here. I want to help you, but you need to be realistic." "Realistic?" Lisa's voice rose with incredulity. "You don't know anything about me or what I've been through." Dave's jaw tightened. "You're right, I don't. But I do know my father, and I know that defiance will only make things worse for both of us." Their argument reached a boiling point, the air between them crackling with tension. Finally, Dave took a deep breath, trying to rein in his frustration. "Fine," he said, his voice quieter. "Have it your way. But know this, running away won't solve anything. We need to find a real solution." Lisa's eyes remained cold, but she said nothing, turning back to the window as if dismissing him entirely. Dave left the room, his mind a storm of conflicting emotions. As he walked back to his study, he couldn't shake the image of Lisa's defiant eyes. He knew he had to find a way to break through her walls, not just for her sake, but for his own as well. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: he would not let his father's tyranny destroy another life.